Hey guys, Ashley Scott here today with Hell Let Loose. Please like and subscribe to my channel to receive a hatchet and some cable ties in the post. What you do with this is up to you, but we all know where that's going. After sinking 300 hours of my adult life into this game, I've decided to make a video on it. This video will show you no matter how much time you put into a game, personal project, or even a hobby, that it doesn't matter and you'll always be killed by a guy in a bush 2 miles away. Right now I'm playing as the Germans, holding off an American attack. This is kind of a win-win because if you win you get a big PP boy XP, and if you lose you can rejoice in the knowledge that your naff playing has put a swifter end to fascism in Europe. Like seriously guys, you can't get too excited when you win as the German forces. Although you do get upgrades, it also means the Nazis are able to spread their message of hate for longer. This is including their ability to steal good sun lounges at holiday resorts. And their worldwide distribution of sauerkraut. Not cool guys. For those people unaware, Hell Let Loose is basically Fortnite without the buildings, weapons, skins, or overly aggressive 9-year-olds in the chat. Hell Let Loose is a 50 vs 50 game where you take orders from your commander who takes orders from his commander, which results in you dying 20 times a game and having to run 463 miles from the spawn to the front line, only to repeat the action 30 seconds later when a big PP boy in a bush gets a headshot from 200 miles away. Despite this, the game does have its ups, like the realism in the game really lets you know what it's like to witness war crimes up close and personal. And with friendly fire on, you'll interfere new players of the game who haven't figured out how to turn on the player icons yet. They will proceed to knife you in the back or shoot you across the field, as they learn to distinguish the different team uniforms. But I assure you when this does happen, you sit back in your chair, and or beanbag, and laugh with glee at the immersion of this epic World War II shooter. Here's a stunning example of how 300 plus hours works in game. Look how I purposefully missed this guy over and over. It's a skill to hit the enemy, but narrowly avoiding them just shows dominance on the battlefield. The one thing I've learned from playing Hell Let Loose is, you can never be too careful. Like, is that a bush? Or is it a tank? Is that a tree? Or is that a hiding German soldier? Is that a German peasant woman? Or is that an intercontinental ballistic missile? You've got to be careful, so when you see dead bodies on the ground, shoot them in the head. Just to be safe. Although I'm pretty sure the game mechanic doesn't allow for people to play dead within the game, it's always best just to make sure. Finally the game I entered halfway through has ended, meaning that I can join in first time with a new squad of people. This usually means that you get a bit more communication within the squad and you're able to, well, ambush the Germans more efficiently, ambush your enemy more efficiently, I should say, because who knows who you're playing as. Mind you, right now we're playing as the Americans on the D-Day map. Not the fun bit where you get to storm the beach, mind you. We're playing inland, where basically we have to defend and possibly get pushed back to a lovely seaside holiday. And by lovely seaside holiday I mean constant machine gun fire from the Nazis, just like Butlins. I was lucky enough to have the first shots on the game. I thought this all went pretty well as I dropped 2 of them, but looking back 4 people in my team were dead. But that's not really my problem, they should have hidden better. Looking at this trench line I decided, I can't see the enemy, so I'll shoot through the bush. This may seem unethical to you gamers, blind firing through a bush in an effort to get kills. That being said, what have bushes done for you recently? Karma and the game must have heard me here, because I'm instantly lit up by STG-44 fire from across the trench, from an appeared invisible enemy. This doesn't matter though, because I can just spawn really close back to the battlefield. Well, I would do if I didn't get blown up by one of my team members throwing a random grenade. I will definitely be reporting him to the admin team for Hell Let Loose. Oh wait, he apologised. Never mind. Solid guy, fight with him any day. Hell Let Loose does seem to be pretty friendly towards the new players of the game. Not mattering if you do team kills, as long as you apologise for it. It's a very polite society within this game. Our commander comes onto the command chat to let us know about a lovely retail opportunity on the front line of the battlefield. As someone who is currently looking into home owning opportunities, I thought it might be good to do a viewing of this place, just to see what it has to offer and what a place in France can get you for your buck. Moving up to the house, I do notice its rustic exterior and its lovely view over the countryside of France. Going into the place, all you can notice is, wow, look at all this room, and on the top of the ceiling, complete skylight. What can you do? You can't go much wrong with this, and the rent is very cheap, considering the building does have a little vaping hole in the corner, but what can I say? For a place this cheap and its rent control, I will definitely be looking into purchasing. As well as a retailer, our commander is also an avid automotive specialist, and lets me know about a lovely opportunity hiding behind that bush. The opportunity is for a like-new Panzer tank. Now, as an anti-tank role in this game, it is my job to destroy this tank. Moving up to it, I remember what I read in The Art of War. Now, I am paraphrasing, but I believe it said, if there's a big tank, run towards it, because that is the best thing to do. That is where you're going to be most effective, and least chance of dying. I put one over the tank. Notice how I say over and not on the tank. This is because the bullet went straight over the tank and missed. As reloading the second one, I fire again to instantly get cut down by machine gun fire. The tank lives on. Again, if I have learned anything from The Art of War, it's do the exact same thing again, and there will be different consequences. So, following this, I run out and get instantly cut down by machine gun fire again. At this point I realise that I've never read Sun Tzu, and I have no idea where I'm getting this quote from. Probably a fever dream, or maybe I read 101 Dumb Ways to Die and took inspiration. Now, as the tank has gone now, we're looking out for some infantry. I'm currently using one of the OPs, which is our spawn point, to have a leg up, to look over the bushes to see if I can see an enemy. That white smoke indicates it's been destroyed, and I have lost my leg up. This is very annoying to me and rude on the enemy's part, so I decide to go and see if I can sort out the guy that destroyed the garrison. This isn't the guy, but I shoot him anyway, just to assert my dominance on the battlefield. We are about to be hit by a bombing run in Hell at Luz. This is one of the most horrific things that can happen in the game, so I'll just give you the audio from that, so you can experience the full quality of the situation. Now, I'm not going to be one of them people that claims to get PTSD from a video game, but that bombing run definitely gave me PTSD. But luckily, as everyone knows, as long as there's a 19th century shepherd's house in the way, you're safe from any bombs or explosives that any army can drop on. Looking over this hill, I do some target practice on some hay bales, and unfortunately hit a man. Luckily he was a Nazi soldier, so this is actually what I'm here to do, but can't help but feel like I'm not a very good shot if I can't even hit the stationary hay bales that are right in front of me. Sitting here a bit longer, but totally not camping, I notice that he's fleeing from the scene again. I shoot him so he can't show us his friends and embarrass me about not being able to hit a close range hay bale. Quickly after this I realise that this is a team-based game, and my commander's been shouting at me for the last 30 minutes to link back up with the squad. After 20 minutes of running, I finally find them in a disused French farm building. Now I say disused, but there does actually seem to be a searchlight out front, suggesting that although it's not used for the conventional farming, it has been repurposed for the war effort. Unless there's just one really overprotective shepherd that needs to keep an eye on his sheep at any time during the night. At this point the commander comes onto the voice chat to give us some pearls of wisdom.
Don't pop your head.
Well, I'm an American, and it's my body, my choice, as long as I'm not female. So I can poke out my head wherever I please to. This gets me killed, but that is just a small price to pay for standing up for my civil rights and freedom. Spawning back on the bridge, I move towards the farmland again. Now, this time I'm a bit jittery and scared of any corner. This is why I proceed to put 3 bullets into a falling leaf that I see. If that wasn't enough, I proceed to throw a grenade at it as well, just to make sure that that leaf, in fact, will decompose in the French countryside. Checking the devastation of my grenade, I'm surprised that there's no enemies. So I decide it's probably best to link up with the rest of my squad. Now, after reading Band of Brothers, I was shocked at the vigorous training routines the 101st Airborne had to go through on a daily basis. Now, my soldier must have been off when they went over the jumping over a wall section, because he can't just seem to muster it on the first 3 attempts. Now, back in the position where I got my head blown off after disrespecting the commander's order, I poked my head around and actually checked the location this time, and we seem to be fine. For this, I'm rewarded by 1 German soldier running across the field, which I helped to go to bed. Night night, Fritz. See you tomorrow. Now, as I have fired 1 bullet, it's time to tactically reload to make sure I don't deplete my ammunition. Doing this, I notice a German lorry coming across the field, and decide to raise its insurance premium. That guy's not getting his no claims discount this year. And that is what's going to win us the war, claiming discounts. Now, the common fact is that war is a very stressful event, so it helps to find places to soak your feet, like in farmers' troughs, just to give you a bit of me time while the conflict's going down. Unfortunately, the death, mutilation, and general bad vibes of this event is making it hard for me to chill out. So I try and seek out a different location in which to have a bit of personal time away from the battlefield. Like, come on, seriously, US Army HR department. If I wanted this much violence, conflict, and without a personal time, I would have gone to Amazon, not the army. Now we've established that the most hard done to soldier in the US Army after fighting for 20 minutes in the Normandy campaign, I go and take my bath time. I mean, it might be a muddy trench, but we've got to make do. Unfortunately, we have a peeping Tom on the bridge, who's watched me in the bath. I mean, the Nazis were doing some horrible things during the war, but peeping Tom I wasn't aware was one of them. After working for Amazon, the US Army, I was happy to see this grenade land in my field because it meant the sweet release of death. When I realised it was a smoke grenade, I felt, wow, I'm a 14-year-old girl and this is deep. Even though I ask for death on Twitter, it never comes, and when it does, it's just a facade. I decided to take my frustration out on this random tank in a field. It seems to be still operable, despite having 6 rockets now placed into it by various members of our team. I fire my second rocket into it, and quickly edit out my death so I can fire the third rocket in, securing the tank's death. Now, as you can see, this tank is still fully mobile and has not been destroyed. I asked my teammates for supplies, but unfortunately, no one was either able, spoke English, or cared about my request to take supplies. This is not uncommon, as I was playing the UK #1 server, which meant that basically it was just a free-for-all and nobody really cared about the tactics of the game, which did make it interesting. This guy decides to yeet a grenade, and I'm sure that made all the world of difference. As we watched the tank disappear into the sunset, we realised, damn, if we were actually fighting in the US Army, then we'd probably be speaking German right now. So dudes, thanks for checking into the Hell Let Loose videos. I hope to see you again soon.